Hello, podcast listeners. We know podcasts are a great way to catch up on a program that you may have missed on KSJE, and it's provided as a free service of this radio station. But you know, KSJE is now listener-supported, and so while you enjoy this podcast, we hope that you'll also take some time to join KSJE. Become a member today. It's quite easy to do. Just go to our website at ksje.com/support and pick the level of support that best matches your budget. Thanks again for listening. Here's your podcast. Minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Monday morning, the 15th day of September 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Scott Michlin. Thanks for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM right here in San Juan County. If you're listening in Durango, Colorado, your radio is tuned to 103.3 FM. And if you're listening to us anywhere else on planet Earth, you've gone to our website to do that, ksje.com. Maybe you're also listening through the KSJE app, which is also available. We also want to welcome this morning our viewers who are joining us. The video of this program is streaming out live to the KSJE Facebook page and also to our YouTube channel. So welcome aboard, everyone. So glad that you are with us, because coming up on the program today, we're getting an update from the folks over at the Central Consolidated School District. Lots to share with you this morning about things going on with Central Schools and their students and staff. So stay tuned for that coming up in the next few moments right here on KSJE. Then, of course, next hour, Mick Hess will be here, Roving with the Arts. That is our weekday classical music program. It's been running for, almost all of our 35 years. Can you imagine that? And so Mick will be here at 9:06, Roving with the Arts for us today. Also want to remind you, you can connect with us on other social media platforms in addition to Facebook and YouTube, places like Instagram, Blue Sky, and X. And if you're a podcast listener, you can subscribe for free to KSJE podcasts. They're available at places where you're probably already listening to podcasts. So check it out and discover maybe a new local program that you may have missed. And there it is, the new KSJE app available for download. You can find it on the App Store and Google Play. Just search for KSJE Radio and stay connected when you're on the go. Outside our studios here at San Juan College, it is a cool and crisp fall morning. I would say we're almost to fall, late summer morning, let's say. 49 degrees outside at the moment. We're expecting lots of sunshine today with a high of 78 in Farmington. Clear skies tonight, the low 51. Sunny, a bit warmer tomorrow, the high 81 on Tuesday, 76 on Wednesday, 75 on Thursday, partly sunny and 76 by Friday and Saturday, with overnight lows, as you can see, in the upper 40s to lower 50s. I'll be back with my guests from the Central Consolidated School District right after this on KSJE. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, whose vision is to deliver world-class care, making life better for the communities they are privileged to serve. Offering a comprehensive range of inpatient, outpatient, and emergency care services so residents can live life better here. San Juan Regional Medical Center, community owned and operated, here for you.
Now back to Studio A and the award-winning Scott Michlin Morning Program on KSJE.
My guest this morning, as I mentioned, from the Central Consolidated School District. Welcome back to KSJE Public Relations Supervisor Jerrod Noble, who is here with us in the studio this morning. Jerrod, good morning.
Good morning, Scott.
Thanks for coming in. Also joining us this morning, one of the Central Consolidated School Board members, Gary Montoya, is here. Mr. Montoya, welcome to you to KSJE.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Nice to have you here as well, so thanks for coming in. Jerrod, let's start with you a little bit. The superintendent is otherwise engaged this morning. Normally he's one of our visitors too, but you've brought Mr. Montoya, and so there's still lots to share about what's going on at Central Schools, correct?
Yeah, I thought it'd be fun to bring our board member Gary Montoya in. You know, he's very active in the community, and Steve and Peter are off today, so a little busy right now. So I just thought, like, hey, let's bring our board member in. You know, obviously he's got a lot of insight too, and has a lot of great ideas and a lot of updates too for the district. So
you bet.
So I brought the next best thing.
There you go. Very good. Well, we'll hear from him in just a moment. So again, thank you for being here, Mr. Montoya. But we'll start with some of the other things that are going on in the district, and of course, Mr. As public relations supervisor, you know all these things that are going on too, because
I
it's your
know
job to promote them, right?
All behind the scenes here, sir.
Oh,
so
that's it.
I like to talk about some events coming up in the district. So today, gifted referrals open in our district. And what we mean by gifted referrals is that students, staff, teachers, parents, if you're seeing signs of a student who's gifted or talented in any way, I mean, this referral is free for anyone. We would love like 100% participation in something like this, to where our gifted program, as you know, Scott, we've talked about it so many times, to where our gifted program is state renowned. New Mexico Ped loves what we're doing with our gifted program, and so something like this today, referrals are open now from September 15th to December 5th for those to whoever wants to make a referral for a student can do that.
Okay. And I guess the idea too is that the gifted program helps students, I think, be more challenged maybe in school if maybe they're not as challenged outside of the gifted program. Is that the idea?
Yeah, we want to give them more challenge, partnering with ASU to give them more curriculum and more, it's some students might just be in classroom completing their assignments early ahead of their peers, and they're just waiting and getting bored, and so that's something that we're just taking that initiative to give them a little more of a challenge in the classroom.
Very good. And so you said that opens today, as you mentioned, all the way, and then the window's open through December 5th.
Correct.
Got it.
All the way to December 5th.
Okay. Very good.
And then next thing we have, so we've already completed 2 of our family community engagement meetings. We have one more coming up next week on Wednesday, September 24th, and we're going to finish up in Newcomb. We have a great turnout, and we basically saved the best for last with our Newcomb folks. So
and we talked about that here, didn't we? Talk about that last month or so.
Last month we did talk about just those. These engagement meetings are for parents to have, we love to hear what they have on their mind.
Sure.
And partner with them, and of course, Superintendent Carlson, Assistant Superintendent, and our cabinet members will be at these meetings. They've been at these meetings, and so we love the feedback that we've been getting and working with parents to better our school district and kind of know what's going on in the classroom. So these meetings are for them, and we want to keep it for them. So, again, just finishing up there in Newcomb on Wednesday, September 24th.
Okay. And a chance for these community members to get some one-on-one time with these folks from the district.
Yes, sir. And you know what? And Board Member Montoya, I believe, has been at every single one of these meetings, too. So he's definitely our boots on the ground, too, and working with parents and talking to them. So
nice.
So you can see some of our folks there. So, so we look forward to next week.
Okay. Very good. Again, that's on the 24th in Newcomb for folks to come and meet, greet, and talk with some of the administration from Central Schools and the board. So sounds good. And then you've got another important date coming up in October.
You know what? I probably won't see you before this happens, but I wanted to bring it up right now.
Yeah, sure.
We have our Student Count Day that's going to be on Wednesday, October 8th. So it's going to be right around the corner. This is our 40th count day. So there's 3 of these count days. So this is the first one of the school year that the state likes to look at numbers, likes to look at these 40-day counts, and it does also align with our funding. So more students that show up to school, it's more funding for their classrooms, for their school buildings, maintenance work on those. So we love for students to all show up on Wednesday, October 8th to be part of the Student Count Day.
Gotcha. That's the first of 3, you said, right? And so the state looks at that, as you mentioned, and that's a big factor in school funding per student and things like that. They're counting all those in attendance. So
yes, and it's one of those ones where they like to count these numbers, and we look forward and we try our best to get the word out there for our parents to know that.
Right, very true, and that's true in your district and all the other New Mexico school districts. The 40th day count is a real big deal.
Yeah, our neighboring school districts, all New Mexico schools are part of this 40th count day.
Gotcha.
For sure.
So make sure the kid gets on the bus or gets to school on that day, especially. Is
however
important.
It is, yeah.
Right.
And we love to work with parents too. If there's no way to get them to the classroom, we'll work with them and see if there's something that we can do.
Okay, if they reach out ahead of time, maybe you can find some other arrangements. So
For sure.
That's an important thing to know. So very good. Another topic we want to talk about, you have some a bike grant going into Sabatai.
Yeah, so and Mr. Montoya was also a part of this. He got to witness some of these students building bikes there in Civitas Middle School. That's in Shiprock, our middle school in Shiprock. So our PE teachers, Brooke Charlie and Mr. Gifford Javier, they went out and applied for this grant. They got some professional development in California to learn a little bit more about bike maintenance and what this grant entitles.
Nice.
So these kids, they received about 35 bikes to, they have like a 12-week curriculum that's going to be involved with their PE time. So these kids, we brought out Stallion Bike Shop from Gallup to come out and help teach these kids how to work on bikes and get them all fixed up. They were brand new, so they had to get all the parts assembled. So they, that whole team did a great job, and our kids got a really great lesson. They tested the bikes, they love it. I mean, it was such a cool experience for these kids.
Nice. And his idea kind of teaching some skills, whether they want to just have bikes and ride bikes, or maybe get into a career of maybe fixing bikes or doing things like that. Was that kind of the idea?
It's right behind the middle school is such a great wildland wilderness there that they can just take their bikes and go out on those dirt roads and experience some outdoor activities. I think it's just also part of just getting them outdoors and experience something new and maybe to fall in love with another activity. Maybe they could bring it to the house and say like, hey, mom and dad, I ride the bike for the first time,
right?
And these bikes are nice, and I would like to maybe see if we can do something like that. It's just giving them new experiences, I think, is the big goal here, and also just giving students more a sense of worth. These bikes came in, and these kids are just like wow, these bikes are great, and love that they're a part. I could be a part of it.
Nice. Very cool. Well, congratulations to Sabatai and your teachers who are a part of getting that grant to share with your students.
Yes, sir.
That's terrific. Very good. Newcomb Rugby competing at the national level. Tell me about that.
Yeah, this is something that I've heard about this, and just got a couple emails from the principal and our regional athletic coordinator. So these kids competed at a national level in Salt Lake City, Utah. And what makes this really interesting too is that these kids are the first indigenous U16 team that represents the Navajo Nation, and so they came out and competed with all these other neighboring states at this rugby national tournament. So just wanted to give them a shout out for that. I think it's really cool that we have more sports coming in our district,
right?
And especially a school like Newcomb. Shiprock, Kirtland doesn't have a rugby team, but Newcomb took the initiative to start something like this.
Yeah, I was going to ask you because maybe I've been sleeping, but I don't recall rugby being offered locally. It's something that I see maybe East Coast and maybe other Midwestern schools and things like that, but not so much in the Southwest for whatever reason.
And you would think with parents too, like, man, there's no shoulder pads. Is it safe? And but these kids, they love it.
Yeah, rugby gets pretty physical.
It does.
I understand.
It does for sure. Gosh, and Tom, Mr. Coach Chi right there in the middle, take this initiative. So congrats to him. Thank you for doing that. I think these kids love this sport and what they're doing there.
Very good. Well, and getting some national competition and recognition is always great too. So congrats to them, and another choice for your students, I guess, for athletics, right?
That's true. Yeah, they can. Yeah, I mean, whatever sports, we just want to give them more activities and more interest, and be proud of their school district where their school where they represent.
Very true. Very true. Well, congratulations again. Another interesting recognition too, and prestigious recognition from Dartmouth University.
Yeah, we're going to keep this one still in Newcomb. So Tawny Platero from Newcomb High School has been accepted into Dartmouth's college prestigious fall Indigenous fly-in program. I talked to her a little bit about this, and she went out to Socorro with her parents during the summer, and she applied. She heard about this program, that it's available for Indigenous students. She absolutely got a piece of it, and she's able to be accepted. She's one of the top students right now. Her goal is to be valedictorian by the end of the school year. So she is a senior right now, and she's fantastic. She's really sweet and great, and we're all proud of her for making this initiative. We love for our students to experience things outside of our area, and for her to be going to this prestigious campus and experiencing college life out there, get a taste of it and see what an Ivy League school this is. I think it's awesome, and kudos to her for doing this.
Yeah, very much so, and congratulations. And so she will get an all expense paid trip to Dartmouth.
From what I'm aware of,
right?
yeah, that's from what I'm aware of.
And get the chance to check out the school and see what it's all about, and as she makes some maybe decisions about going on to college, right?
Who knows? This might be her school she calls home in the next 4 years.
But certainly give her a different view, maybe, and of course a different culture and different part of the country. So let's check that out as well. So congratulations. The other thing we want to talk about is the student insurance program.
Yeah. So the couple of times we've been on, we haven't really brought this up, but we wanted our finance department and our district came together, and we wanted to just give some help to some parents and give them a little bit of ease of mind whenever maybe their students are in sports programs, or if they're playing on the playground. You just never know. And so we partnered with Myers Stevens and Tohei, this company where parents can submit claims if there's anything that happened on school campus during school hours, or if they were on an activity outside of the district, say like if there was a sport, like a football game,
an away game or something.
Yeah,
right?
an away game in Santa Fe. And something happens to where a student got injured and needed to go to the hospital. Parents can submit claims. They can reach out to the school, submit that form, and we can see if we can help them with supplementing them with insurance to get them covered.
Gotcha. So this is what the district has in place
right
for
now,
students.
currently right now. So just really excited about this, and I feel like parents really would benefit and appreciate something like this for their kids, and from our school district.
Right. So good to know. And again, as we just mentioned, you've got a rugby team, and it's pretty physical. But so things happen.
Yeah. You just never know. I think maybe they heard about this and be like, "Hey, let's start a rugby team finally." So
right. Maybe that's it. So there you go. But that's important for folks in the district to know. So all students are covered.
All students are covered,
obviously, under this program. So that's good to know. Other topic on technology. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, and this is something that maybe Board Member Montoya could even talk about too, but they passed this $5 million initiative to enhance educational technology for CCSD students. This investment aims to equip students with modern tools necessary for success in the digital age while maintaining the mill levy rate, unlocking further state funding opportunities. This initiative is structured through the New Mexico Finance Authority as a fiscal responsibility 5-year lease purchase plan. So orders have been in place for iPads and other technology uses for students. So we just, this is just another initiative to where we want to bring more resources and better tools for our students in the classroom to have a better education in our district.
Very good. Very good. Mr. Montoya, you want to chime in on spending some money? $5 million's not a drop in the bucket, that's for sure.
No.
But this technology is important for students, is it not?
Absolutely, because anytime we can provide a better opportunity for these students, then we're going to try to do that. And this certainly points to that chance to be able to do that and improve, because as we well know, when new technology is put out, 6 months, 12 months later, it's old.
It's out of date, right? You're
Absolutely.
right.
Out of date is the correct word to use in that sense. But that's really what we're trying to do, is to keep these students updated with the newest technology that we can. And increasing the mill levy like that, again, provides that opportunity for us to do that. So
sure. And does it also, and to me, it seems like it kind of evens the playing field a little bit too, because every student now has access to the same iPad or the same MacBook or whatever it is that you're giving them. And so when there's an assignment or whatever, everybody gets a chance to complete that assignment with those technology tools.
You are absolutely correct, and that was one of the bigger challenges, especially with COVID, with everybody, and even more so out on the reservation.
Right, sure.
So when we're able to do that again, that's what we're going to do. So we had that opportunity to do it, and now we're going to move forward.
Very good.
With new technology.
And
Congratulations.
Also our DART technology director, Amy Conley, who's just a new hire for that position. We'd love to bring her on and talk a little bit more about the other technology initiatives going on. So this is just one of the many things that we have going on to where, bringing more resources, finding new ways to enhance education in those classrooms.
Very good. And spreading it out to your students. So that's important as well. So very good. And now we'll put Mr. Montoya more on the spot to talk a bit about his work on the board at the Central Consolidated School District. You've been on the board for 6 years.
Yes, sir.
But certainly been involved in education long before that and continue to be. We talked about that before we came on the air this morning a little bit.
Absolutely. My engagement with education really started, again, as you said, years ago when I returned from the military. And part of that was initiated by a conversation that I had with a lady flying into Dallas-Fort Worth who happened to work for John F. Kennedy during his election campaign.
Oh, wow. Right.
She had told me to, whatever I do, always stay engaged and try to make a positive difference, and I did. And the opportunity presented itself through coaching with the kids at the high school level, junior high level, youth programs, and then at SASE, Shiprock Alternative Schools, where I was elected the president of the Parent Advisory Committee.
Right.
And was there for 5 years. And so my experience in education is very pragmatic in that sense of working with their superintendent, their principal, their boards of education, and being a representative to the parents and their voice. And had an opportunity at that time to go out to Washington to lobby for the brand new school that they now have. That was $25 million. Myself and the team went out there to lobby the BIA for that funding.
Nice. Congratulations. And now you're with Central and Central Consolidated Schools. And
Absolutely.
as we just talked about, $5 million for technology. It costs a lot to run a school district, especially one as widespread as the Central Consolidated Schools. We talked about the geographic diversity of the school district and just how far-flung a lot of those schools are and a lot of your population is. That's a big job for the staff and the school board, I would think, to try to guide the school district when you have such differences in locations of schools and students and such.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at Farmington and compare and contrast that. The furthest distance between two of the communities is 74 miles.
In Central, for Central schools, yeah.
Yes, it is.
Right.
And that's a lot of windshield time when you're talking about that, not just in respects to traveling for maintenance and upkeep, but also that equitable education that's going to be delivered to these students.
Right.
And the needs of the communities, they're similar, but in some ways they're very different as well. So we have to take that into consideration. And I know one of the things when it comes to money, a lot of people say, well, you can't solve a problem by dumping money on it. Utilize the recent case of Yazzie Martinez in the state of New Mexico.
Right.
It hasn't fixed the problem. But what it does for us is it helps to create that opportunity. And I know Jerrod had said that word a few times, and that's one of the things I'm really big on is that if we don't provide the opportunities, kids will never have anything different to look at or any other avenues to be able to utilize in their education. And that's really what we're trying to do within CCSD, with the board and the superintendent and with a lot of this funding. And that plays hand in hand with some of the things that we've talked about in respects to that lack of funding or the student count that was made mention of in that 40-day count. That
Right.
is huge to what we do. We've lost approximately 2,100 students since 2018, 2019, and that translates to a large dollar amount.
That's a big chunk of cash, I
Big
would
chunk
think,
of
right?
cash.
It's too early for me to do the math, but somebody will.
It equates to a little over $19,000 per student.
Per student.
Per student when you take into account SEG, funding, and impact aid, which 95% of our students are Native American, receive that impact aid.
Right.
So a good portion of that is impact aid funding as well, and that equates to that $19,000, which that 2,100 and what is it, 24, something like that. The
Enrollment?
yes, well, what we've lost, it's about just under $40 million that we've lost.
Significant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a
I mean,
huge chunk of
pretty
money.
close to what he just. I just did the math here, so yeah,
Gotcha.
he's right on.
See?
So
Good for you, yeah.
That again, that's can't take that and dump it on the problem, but that creates that opportunity.
Sure.
25% of that is discretionary funding, which means that's $5-6 million that we can utilize to provide even greater educational opportunity for our students.
Right.
And that hurts what we can provide.
Well, we just talked about the technology, right? That cuts into that budget, or could.
Teachers,
right? Staff.
more staff, buildings, and
Sure.
so all of it really works together.
Right, indeed. And I was going to ask you about recruitment too, because again, you've got these communities that are in pretty remote areas, and I know the school district has been trying to work on maybe housing for your teachers in some of these areas to make it easier for them to commit to working with students and not have to maybe commute as long or things like that. That's another important part of finding good teachers for your students and offering them these opportunities.
You are absolutely right, because again, there's a story that happened years ago where a principal from another state came out to work at one of our remote communities, and we showed him the housing, and within 5 minutes after looking at it, he looked at the house, got back in his vehicle, and went back home. Didn't stay.
That was it.
And that was it. And so with that, we have teachers from the Philippines coming in and other parts of the state, but as you had mentioned, when you go down south to Nas City or Newcomb, the amenities that are here in Farmington are not there. So what do? We have to try to provide something for them that keeps them there. We're very fortunate that a lot of the Filipino teachers like that part of the area, and they just love the students and the community. And they get along very well. They've provide very good service to our students. And there's those people who don't fully understand why. But just like everybody else across the state, we're challenged to
Sure.
get good quality educators, and a lot of the Filipino teachers fill that void for us. So we're really appreciative for what they do. And again, that money and being able to have that revenue is huge to be able to do that.
Very true. And I know, true, that you also have teachers that commute from places like Farmington or Cortez, I think, too,
Cortez.
into Shiprock or beyond to teach your students. And so it's not just, the local folks are providing housing locally, but that's certainly another maybe tool that you can use when you're trying to recruit somebody.
Well, when we do that, and I've been saying this for a long time, that education is a business, and we're in direct competition with everybody else around us, whether that be Red Mesa, Cortez, Farmington, Aztec, Bloomfield, Gallup. We had a conversation with somebody from the regional business office, and he acknowledged the fact that we've lost students to Gallup. So what do we do, and how do we do that? One of the things that I've tried to say constantly for these past 6 years is that there's a symbiotic relationship between economics and education. And I was fortunate to enlighten the people down at the RES conference in Las Vegas about that. And we need to know what we need to do and in the areas in which we need to educate these kids. And then so that way we can provide students either ready for college or business and the workforce. So again, that's important to have that relationship, because again, just like in Farmington, I always make that contrast between Farmington and Gallup and the lack of opportunities that is out on the reservation, especially again when you're talking about down south to Newcomb, and even in Shiprock, the lack of economic development and the opportunity that it affords our students either to stay or their families to stay and grow. So that's huge.
Right, and I was just going to ask you about that too. Is it your goal and hope that maybe some of your students will decide to stay and maybe reinvest in their communities or bring some of the things they've learned at central schools or
That's what we're
off to
trying to
college
get
to come back? And
that's where we're trying to get to with the board. And again, the leadership provided by the superintendent and working in conjunction with other organizations around us to be able to see 3 years, 5 years down the road and what we need to do. And hopefully that can happen. There's some things that are happening around us that can help, but certainly we need more, because 2,100 students, that's a lot. And what's going to keep those families there are good paying jobs, $20, $30, $40 an hour jobs, professional jobs. To
Right.
keep the families there, because we know we've lost a lot of students up here. and the surrounding communities because the economic opportunity is not there for them and their families.
Right, very true. And that's a struggle, I think, for a lot of districts, not just Central either,
Absolutely.
that are facing that too. And with the uniqueness of the Central Consolidated School District, we were talking too about your background, and you are uniquely, I think, has a unique history of living on the reservation, living off the reservation, Shiprock and Kirtland and the off-reservation areas too. I think that gives you some unique insights into the district maybe and how to help families and students at Central Schools.
Absolutely. I've been there all my life. I consider myself a res baby. And literally from the second day of my life, I've been there down in Shiprock. That is home sweet home.
Mm-hmm.
I've had opportunities to leave, but I will not because I love it too much. I love the community. I love the kids. I love the families. And being in this position and being able to have that springboard to champion and advocate for them is huge. The background and experience that I've had very pragmatically enables that to happen as well. I haven't gone through the educational system for CCSD myself. Went to school at Mesa Elementary School, it's still there, and then went to the junior high at TBA and graduated from Shiprock High School in 1981. And then really what's really been very beneficial too is I returned back to college at age 53 and received an associate's degree from here at San Juan College. Sat out a year and attended New Mexico Highlands, the Farmington branch. Got a bachelor's degree, and with the support of my wife, went on to get a master's degree in education, which has been very, very beneficial to what I do. But one of the more poignant things about that is the fact that firsthand being able to see these kids who had challenges in education sitting right next to them. Some from CCSD, some from other districts, but that really motivated me to do what I'm doing and has really helped me to be able to see where their challenges are, what we need to do, and how we need to do it. So that's been very beneficial. The enculturation process of all these years being within the community is helpful and very, very beneficial in the sense of understanding not just the culture, but the kids and the families and the challenges that they have.
I would think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would think so. Do you see yourself as a role model for some of these students? I do.
Yeah, I've, I just see myself as a servant, honestly. I really do. I say it facetiously, but I truly mean the fact that when I go somewhere, I never make an attempt to, and this young man knows that too, because I've told him, I said, when I go to these events, it's not about me. It's about these kids. I try to stay out of the way. I want to see what they're doing. I want to see how engaged they are. And my point of being there is a better understanding. Every once in a while, I'll pull a parent over, talk to the kids, and just learn from them.
Right.
But I truly see myself just as a servant to them. That is it. And I take every opportunity that I can to grasp every bit of understanding through them.
That's important. And
Absolutely.
I know up here at San Juan College, we talk about lifelong learning as part of our mission. It sounds like you're agreeing to that too.
Absolutely.
Always learning something, right?
Absolutely. I had an opportunity to apply at Harvard for a doctoral program that they had. In fact, I was one of their finalists. So I don't know if I'm going to continue that journey.
Right.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Very good. And it sounds like you're running for something, but you're not running for school board. You've still got 2 more years on your term.
You never know what's going to happen.
Sure.
Never know what's going to happen.
But not this November. You're not up for a re-election.
No.
You let the other folks deal with
I'll
that.
decide. And if anything comes of it down the road, then it does.
Right.
But certainly the focus is truly trying to build those relationships around the community for expanding the educational opportunities for kids, whether that be in a 2-year, 4-year, 6-year institution, or through apprenticeship programs, on-the-job training.
Right.
So that's really what we're trying to look at especially through career technical training and education.
That's a big part of it these days. That's
Huge.
for sure. So
That's huge.
very good. Well, wonderful. Well, gentlemen, I'm sorry to say we're out of time, but I appreciate you both coming in and talking about all the things going on at Central Schools. It's always great to hear updates from the district. So thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Of
Appreciate
course.
it.
It's been
Thanks,
great to
Scott.
have you here, both of you. Thank you very much. My guest this morning from the Central Consolidated School District here with me on KSJE. Did you enjoy that podcast? We hope that you did. And if you did, share it with your friends. And if you really want to keep podcasts like this coming, please support KSJE. You can do it easily online at ksje.com.